So that was a little sidebar there. Back to the labels, back to the things. We talked about the introverts and extroverts. Let's go to the sensory modalities, your visuals. If you were a visual and you were raised in a family where you were shamed for the fact that you constantly wanted to look a certain way, you were like, no, I have to get ready, and it took you longer to get ready because the way you looked was important to you, and you were shamed for that. That can be damaging to your subconscious. That can be damaging to your view of yourself, because instantly you start to think, there's something wrong with me. Why do I take so long when everybody else is ready? Right? Frowned at. Remember, facial expressions are very, very important to the innovator. Being frowned at or not looked at can be very damaging. Living in an environment where, again, maybe it wasn't direct abuse, but you had a family or a parent that was very non-visual. So everything in the environment was unkept or sloppy or maybe even dirty, and that like damaged you on one of your deepest levels because it damaged you on your DNA code. Auditories, not being talked to. Auditories have to talk. They have to communicate that way. So not being talked to, the silent treatment, harsh, loud voices, right? Annoying or irritating sounds. Shamed for their auditory abuse. I've given you little clues on our family upbringing. I am an auditory extrovert, auditory female. In our family, as children, there was, you are to be seen and not heard. That was the world we grew up in. My father was very proud of the way we looked. Right? We were very good kids in public. So we weren't supposed to talk. I can't tell you how many times we were told to sit down, shut up. I think that was his favorite thing, sit down, shut up. So if this happens to you, how does that, if you start thinking, how does that affect the mind of the child? They wind up thinking there's something wrong with them. Kinesthetic, touch, no touch or rough touch. Believe it or not, tickling, which is something we as most adults do to our babies, because it's so cute to hear them laugh. There's nothing better than the belly laugh of a baby. Well, it can be damaging to a kinesthetic. It really honestly can. So you have to stop and think about that. Physical discipline, sexual abuse, being shamed for their kinesthetic sense. Like, oh, you gotta change those clothes. They're not like, what's wrong with you? You're always dressed so sloppy, right? That can be devastating. You need to look right. They've done family studies where they've had children who have experienced the same type of abuse. And you can have an auditory that experiences sexual or physical abuse and a kinesthetic. It's going to hit the kinesthetic child deeper. They're going to have a harder time moving past and getting past those damages in life. We talked about that importance of touch. I bring this back up because to me it's just profound, the differences. Right? So if you were a kinesthetic, remember these types of things. Are you a kinesthetic that has challenges with eating disorder? Is that possibly connected? Were you not touched much as a child? Were your parents not the kind that hugged you, that let you sit on their lap? Are these some of the memories? Right? Were you in a school where everything was like, the teacher was very